is going on, everyone? Welcome back. It is time for the beginning of a great week here on the channel. Today, we have a ton of stuff to talk about, including my first experience with Call of Duty Black Ops 7 from back on Friday. To be quite honest with all of you, let me scratch in my head. I'd like honest feedback. And if the honest feedback is, Phil, you suck, then that's the feedback. Well, I actually have some questions, and I'd like some answers. If you guys could help me, I would appreciate that because I am a little confused regarding this game, and I want to know where to basically start off today when we jump back into it after the show. But in addition, today I'm going to be doing reactions to stuff that you wanted last week and I didn't get to, including the Super Mario Galaxy movie trailer and Fallout, the TV show, Season 2. I'm excited for this because a lot of people have been talking about these, and now I'll finally see them for myself and be able to give my opinions. And of course, today, I will have an update on something. All this and more on today's awesome episode of the Level 1 Podcast.
Attention! The games are about to begin. All hail the
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show. Today is Sunday, the 16th of November, 2025. I'm DSP, and this is the Level 1 Podcast. I'm excited to start a brand new week here, smack dab in the middle of November, 2025, with all of you. The fall gaming season is in full swing. We've got some great new games we're playing, we got some playthroughs we're juggling, and we got Call of Duty, which is confusing. Really confusing, and I'm curious what's going to happen in regards to this game and my content. I'm going to talk about this a bit today because I'm scratching my head wondering what was that experience that I had on Friday. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's the game. Maybe it was just launch day woes. I don't know, but I want answers. So I want to talk with all of you about this. Today, we're going to continue to play the game and grind it out and try to do all the unlocks because I can't really do much fun stuff till everything is unlocked, and we're working toward that, okay? So, let's get started, shall we? We got so much to talk about. First of all, I'm back. I'm here for 6 days this week. I'll be here through Friday, and it's going to be a great streaming week balancing various different stuff, including Call of Duty Black Ops 7, Pokemon Legends ZA, continuing with the chill fun. We're going to have some American Truck Sim tonight. That's it. So everyone wondering, when's Truck Sim? It's tonight. Okay, you got to be here tonight if you want to see it because I only do it once a week. There's going to be some new stuff in the rotation this week, including we're going to try a few other indie games that we've looked at recently. One called Leave It Alone, which is a very autumn-themed game where you're kind of like cleaning up a yard full of leaves and yard work, but I guess it leads to something else mysterious in the game, but it's mostly kind of a chill game where we can interact and chill and talk while I play it. We're also going to try out the viral game Baby Steps, which is essentially QWOP. Anyone ever played QWOP back in the day? But it's with like 3D graphics, and apparently it's funny but weird at the same time. A lot of people have played it, and it seems to be pretty popular right now. So we're going to get these tossed into the schedule for variety purposes, so it's not just me playing the same games every single day. Okay? So all that's well and good. In addition, Super Mario Galaxy 2 will be returning to the rotation of games that I'm playing. This is a game that I played about around last month when it was released on the Switch 2 for the first time. And I was playing it, and I was very much enjoying it, to be honest. And then we put it on hiatus because so many new games were actually coming out that we needed to kind of put it on the back burner and say, hey, let's come back to it later when we have time. Now is the time. So, good variety of stuff coming up this week, and or there may be some other things interjecting that may change the schedule up. And I will talk about those in a little bit. There's actually good reason why I'm not talking about them right now, but you'll see later on in the show. Okay. So, let's talk about Call of Duty back on Friday. I really want to talk about this at length. I hope that you guys can give me some feedback because I really am confused. Let me put it this way. I'm not angry. I'm not upset. I'm not disappointed. I'm just very confused. And so I'd like to get feedback. All right. So if you weren't here on Friday, you missed it. It was launch day of Black Ops 7 on the channel. I played Call of Duty Black Ops 7 all day long. The entire first stream and the entire late stream. If you add all the gameplay together, it's around 6.5 hours of gameplay, roughly. First off, criticisms of the game, good things, bad things. The game runs beautifully on my gaming PC. Now, I am playing at 1080p. The reason being, I want to get the absolute least amount of input lag whatsoever. So I'm playing it at 1080p, 120 hertz, ultra settings, VSync on, so there's no screen tearing. I know that could add a little bit of input delay, but you can't have screen tearing. It's too disturbing. Too distracting, I should say. And so it looks great. The graphics are very, very good. Serious. They're very fun. And I'm having a good time with that aspect of it. It doesn't look like crap. Like I remember a few years ago, these Call of Duties actually weren't looking very good. This year it looks great. Okay? Now, maps. I was surprised to see so many throwback maps. I mean, just off the top of my head, Raid, Hijacked, and I forget the name of it, but the train station stage are the three that come to mind. These are classic Black Ops multiplayer maps that they brought back for Black Ops 7. Now, I don't know if they did it because they wanted to do like an homage, fan favorite stuff, or they literally just wanted to reuse assets and not put effort into the game. You could argue both, I'm sure. And we're going to talk about this in a moment because playing on these maps in Black Ops 7 feels like a massive difference from playing on these maps in previous Black Ops games, and I'm going to talk about that and why in just a bit. The gunplay feels responsive, if that makes sense. What I mean is, like, I'm playing on keyboard and mouse, and the only gun that was sluggish was the LMG, the starter LMG. It was so slow to fire, but that's because it's an LMG. You know, your ADS is horrible until you finally get all the good attachments and everything you put on it. But everything else seemed fine. You know what I'm saying? I had a good time with it, and in that regard. But 5+ hours in, how did it go? Well, the good news is the overall goal of what I wanted to do on Friday was achieved. In the 5 hours that I played, well, it's around 6 hours actually, that I played Black Ops 7, I hit level 30, okay? I unlocked a ridiculous amount of weapons, all right? In fact, a couple of the weapons that I unlocked I like a lot. There was the second shotgun is a 2-shot shotgun, and man, it's good. As long as you hit both shots, you're killing pretty much everyone in the game. At least if it's from mid-range, and it's really fun to use. It's actually my favorite weapon so far, Black Ops 7. I forget what the shotgun's called. It's the first shotgun that you have to unlock. It's actually really good, especially when you're getting the attachments and everything on it so you don't get recoil. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Was melting the enemies with it, okay? So that was my goal for Friday. Play as much as I can, unlock as much as I can. It wasn't like I played all day and I didn't unlock anything. That's literally what was happening with Battlefield 6. Like, I would play an entire stream, and I'd unlock, like, one thing. Like, dude, 3 hours of gameplay, I got one gun? This is insanity. You know, you gotta do better than that. You have to have more progress. So I felt like my time investment was paying off with the level of unlocks and the speed of the unlocks in the game. Let's actually talk about my overall performance. And then let's talk about my overall thoughts of the game and why I'm saying I'm very confused. Okay? By the way, good morning, everyone, because I see a lot of people are joining. Good morning to everyone on the show. What's up, Chris? What's up, Jade? How you doing, Ryan? Who else is here today? Kryptonian Dunn is here. We actually got our first contribution from Mr. Singh, $1. Thanks, Mr. Singh, for $1. Who's over on Kid? We got Most Tasteless. We got Opposite of My Thoughts. We've got, oh, Cracker Jacks, how are you? Good, Green Guardsman, good morning. Now poor people are saying what's up. What's up, Original Grant Copium? How you guys doing? Dr. Thundercock, Blizzard, RGB Lover, how y'all doing? Good morning, everyone. Hope that you had a good Saturday away from the content, and now you're coming back to chill with me today. It's going to be a good one. We're going to have the sweats. We're going to have the grinding, the duties on the first stream, and then tonight we're going to chill. We're going to unplug from all of that on the late stream, and we're just going to hang out and have a good time in American Truck Sim. So it should be a good day overall. Should be a good balance, right? Okay. So that being said, let's get some support. Please, let's get some support early on for the show. Let's get some super chats, some memberships on the YouTube side, some subs and some kicks on the kick side. And how about some tips? How about we get our first support of the week? I'm actually refreshing my kick chat to get the leaderboard refreshed. Here we are. So we can actually see a nice, fresh, open leaderboard and stuff like that. So let's go. Let's get some shout outs going. All right, cool. Okay. Now, here's what we really want to talk about, right? My overall performance in Black Ops 7 on Friday and why I'm so confused, okay? My overall performance was absolutely positively abysmal. It was arguably one of the worst performances I've probably had in an FPS. Now, I will say that with a grain of salt because I have had bad performances before. If you've watched me in the 17, 18 years I've made content, there's been some other FPS games I've been absolute dog shit at as well. So this isn't the first rodeo for me. Okay, seriously. But in general, usually when I play Call of Duty, I do pretty good. Like, no exaggeration. Usually I'm at least doing all right. And I'm getting some kill streaks and I'm having some fun. Now, when I played the beta of Black Ops 7, the first session I played it, I hated it. I'm serious. I remember the very first session, I said, this is not fun. It feels like my bullets aren't effective. It feels like I can't kill anyone. What's wrong with this beta? But I said I would do a second stream of it. So I did. The second stream, I started unlocking some of the great stuff, including this insanely overpowered sniper rifle, the melee class build so that you could run around and just stab everyone with the Predator camo so they can't even see you. And once I had all that crazy gimmicky stuff unlocked, the game became way more fun for me. Like, I legit started liking the game, and I was shocked because I didn't think I was going to like this one. And I was genuinely having fun and actually got me excited for the full release of the game. So Friday, here I am playing the game, and guess what? I pretty much had the same experience that I had the very first time that I played the beta back in, what was it, September? Everyone I tried to shoot would not die, despite the fact that half the time I would get the drop on them and would be shooting them way before they even saw me. I would deal incredible amounts of damage, but they wouldn't die. Then they would immediately turn and see me, fire once, and I would die instantly. As if every single shot that every person I'm facing shoots is a headshot. Meanwhile, half the time I swear I was shooting them in the head and or neck region, and it would never register as a headshot. Now, on the flip side of that, the very little that I actually did with the sniper rifle, it was claiming that I was getting kills, and I swear to God, I was not hitting the enemy. I'm trying to be transparent here. I feel like I actually was not hitting them at all, yet they were dying. And I was like, huh? Now, how does that make sense? If I have a full auto gun and I get the drop on someone and I fill them with bullets, they don't die, and then I instantly die. But if I have a sniper rifle and I even shoot anywhere remotely near the enemy, they die. Again, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm blind, maybe I'm crazy. I swear this was my experience with the game. I'm not kidding. I'm not joking. That's pretty much what happened when I was playing. So I was trying various different builds. Assault rifles. Well, here's the problem with the assault rifles. Because the way I was playing was unlock a new weapon, play with that weapon, change my build frequently, I never got to unlock a single scope with an assault rifle. And I know for a fact I would play better if I had some zoom. I literally never had zoom on anything but, of course, the sniper rifle where it's built in all day long. I never got to that because I was swapping weapons so often. Maybe if I actually had played with one weapon and stuck with it all day, by the end of the day, I would have had all the godlike attachments and the weapon would have been amazing with everything. But anytime that I tried to fight someone mid to far range, they always killed me almost instantly, meaning they probably had a scope, and I couldn't because I was looking down the sights. Okay? So maybe that's one mistake of mine is if I'm going to do better at the game, I do need to focus in on one weapon of each class and really just play it because I really haven't found my favorite. Like, I don't know what my favorite assault rifle is right now. I don't know what my favorite SMG is yet. I don't have a clue. Okay. So that's, one thing. But the other thing, and this was so bizarre, the thing that really made this a glaring, not problem, but a glaring difference between old Call of Duty and modern was the maps that they have in here that are the legacy maps. Raid, Hijacked, and again, the train map, the name eludes me. But the reason I say that is I distinctly remember playing those maps back in the day on old Call of Duty Black Ops. I remember playing these in sessions, grinding. I remember how to play them. I remember the particular places that you can like camp and get good shots. It doesn't work in this Call of Duty. You might say, wait, what do you mean? It's the same map. How could it not work in this Call of Duty? What's changed? It seems to me, since the old Call of Duties, they have completely changed the way that spawning works. What does that mean? Well, let's say, for example, in an old Call of Duty, you're playing on Raid, and you're up in the high up area, the high up building where there's a view of this courtyard down. There's like the fountain in the middle and all the cars in the background, the driveway, and then there's the back way. If you're playing domination, it's point B. Okay? So you used to be able to set up camp on either side of this area and basically snipe. And you could set up equipment at the door so people couldn't sneak in behind you. And you could play it safe, go to the door, make sure no one's there, go back, look, zoom, snipe, go back, zoom, go back, snipe. You could do that for an extended period of time. You could get a big kill streak, score streak, whatever you want to call it. And that's how it played. Okay? Today, you can't do that at all. Why? Because back in the day, what would happen is your team would spawn on this side of the map, and their team would spawn on that side of the map, and you'd be able to face each other at choke points. That was kind of the point back then. The center of the map was the choke point. Okay, and every once in a while, someone would flank and sneak around and then try to basically get the spawn from behind and reverse the spawns, which could happen. But that was how it was played. Okay, today, let's say you set up. I'm in the window of a sniper. You will get one kill immediately. Someone's to your left and insta kills you. Someone's behind you, insta kills you, or someone's to your left. Oh, I got him. Now you're killed from behind anyway. How the fuck are they behind me? They were literally across the courtyard coming this way. I sniped one of them. How is the enemy team also behind me at the same time? Because the spawns are fucking busted. The game seems to literally be making everyone constantly spawn to the side or behind the enemy. Therefore, no one can really get a big streak. In fact, if you watch my gameplay from Friday, one of the distinct things that I noticed was that the only kill streak anyone was getting was the dog. And I think that's maybe 5 to 10 kills. Even then, that was a rarity. There was maybe a handful of matches where I even saw the dog robot. Outside of that, I didn't see a single chopper, a single actual high-level airstrike. None of that ever happened. Why? Because the spawning is fucking busted. Why are they constantly spawning things to the side and behind you? You can't ever get anything going. And in fact, I said this as well. Every single time that I seem to have an encounter with one person, immediately coming around the corner would be two more. So even if I got one kill, I would turn to the next person and start to fire. I'm out of ammo. That's it. I'm dead. And there's nothing I could do about it. The other issue that I have, it seems that if anyone ever shoots you, you're dead. Now, I don't necessarily mean that the first bullet kills you. What I mean is, if a bullet starts to hit you, you can't get away. You can't dive to cover. You can't counter by pulling up your weapon and trying to fire better. You're just dead. So there's distinct times when, I just got a bullet from my side. Already dead. Huh? That didn't used to be like that. And I don't know what's up with that. Again, maybe it's, I have some theories and I'm going to toss them out. And I'm curious what everyone's feedback is here in the chat. I'm going to ask for feedback in a second. I know I'm just talking. I want to give you my opinion on this since I did play it all day Friday. But these are just distinct things that make me think, wow, this is nothing like how Call of Duty used to be. And quite frankly, it doesn't seem very fun. Seriously. Like, number one, I get the drop on someone. I pull up my weapon, I fire. Now, I don't hit every bullet, but maybe I hit 5 out of 6 bullets. So now they have this much health left. They turn and fire 1 bullet, and I'm instantly dead. But I got the drop on you. I hit you with almost every bullet. Maybe I'm not flawless, but I did shoot you. Why are you not dead? Why do I die instantly, but you don't? Why is it that every time I try to have some fun, oh, look, there's a couple guys coming. I get one. Wow, this is awesome. Oh, wait, 3 more spawn behind me. I'm instantly dead. They're behind me. Huh? How is that fun? And again, these classic maps where you should be able to play on them and feel that nostalgia from back in the day, old school Black Ops. You play them and you realize this game is nothing like it used to be at all. It doesn't play like classic Black Ops. It plays shitty, actually, compared to the old games. And it makes you feel actually sad. It makes you feel nostalgic for the old days and feel like the new days suck. You know, what really sucks about this is exactly what's happened with me recently with Street Fighter, where with Street Fighter 6, I play it and I'm like, man, I'm nostalgic for the old days of Street Fighter. When the games were fun, when the games weren't just about playing a pattern, when the games weren't about just mashing buttons and doing one giant combo and doing the same thing in the corner everyone does. Now it's like, well, now Call of Duty. Man, I long for the days when I could actually just get set up and because I had a good shot, I could actually get a kill streak with a sniper rifle and not just immediately get murdered from behind. When I could get the drop on someone and actually get a kill, not fill them with bullets and then instantly die. But what is going on here? Okay? So, of course, there's many things that it possibly could be. Number one, it could be I'm just absolute awful. That I am not accurate with any of my shots whatsoever. And people aren't dying because I'm not hitting them enough. But the point remains, I have to fill the enemy with so many bullets for them to die. Why do I die instantly, but they need 7, 8, 9, 10 shots to die? It's a question. You could see I am hitting them. It's not that I'm missing every shot. I am hitting them, and then it shows them like melting me instantly, but I can't melt anyone. Why? What is the problem there? Okay? So maybe it's me. Maybe I suck. Maybe it was just launch day woes. Maybe on launch day the game wasn't very accurate or whatever. Maybe it has something to do with my settings. For example, I'm playing the game at 1080p, 60 frames, but I had my PC set to 4K. Maybe that's creating input delay. I don't know. Today, what I'm going to do is when we're about to play, I'm going to change my resolution on my PC overall to 1080p, and hopefully that solves the problem. It could be it. Maybe that's it. Maybe because I didn't have it set to 1080, it was giving me input lag. That could be. I don't know. I'm just trying to throw ideas at the wall here because I don't really have no clue why I was having the experience that I was having. Okay? So I'll talk to the chat in a sec, but the good thing here is that when I play again today, I feel like even if I suck, we're going to get to the point where I'm going to start unlocking the more fun things. Okay? Today, we should unlock the build where the melee will be good. I'll at least get that perk where I think it's like your melee is always the ultra powerful execution. If you get it, you get like a giant bonus to health and speed and things like that. And I'm wondering when you get the Predator cloak, I think that's coming up too. Like that's a gadget, right? I think so. Once I get the Predator cloak and that, now I'll be able to use melee weapons. And then we'll be able to run around knifing, and eventually we'll unlock the baton thing. We'll whap people with it, and it'll be fun. Now, keep in mind, I only played the beta twice, and I already had all that unlocked. I didn't even play the beta as long as I've played Call of Duty Black Ops 7 full release, but I don't have the stuff unlocked, so they definitely slowed down the unlocks from the pace that you would unlock things during the beta. So we'll see what happens with that. But I do hope that it gets better. Like, I want to play this game. I want this to be my multiplayer game in the rotation for variety. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 had longevity. First, I was playing it on the Elite 2 controller. People liked that. Then it kind of got boring, but then I decided to go to keyboard and mouse because I updated my setup so I could do that. And then it was like a whole new game. It really did feel refreshing and different doing that. I want to get into the game enough where I'm learning builds. I'm learning the sniper. I'm learning how to use the LMGs, the SMGs, the shotgun. I want to go through and have fun with this game. I do. I'm not saying that I'm going to become a hardcore player, that I'm so good that I'm going to be a pro player and kicking everyone's ass and I'm going to be streaming this every day of the week. No. But I want this to be something for variety in the rotation, and I hope that I will build up a viewership for it if I get good. If every time I play it, I literally have a 0.5 kill death ratio, I'm not going to get much attention on it, I feel. It'll just be the negative people who come by to crap on me and they don't contribute. To be frank, the negative people do not support my content in any way, shape, or form. They just don't. Okay? So I wonder how it's going to go today. Now, let's see what you guys have to say about what happened. So, what do you guys think about Friday? I'd like your feedback now. You guys watched it by now, I'm sure. Okay? Oh, by the way, so someone just tipped me $1 and says, if you want to have fair matches in Black Ops 7, you have to play the other playlist. It's called Standard Matchmaking. You were playing the new open matchmaking playlist. It ignores your skill. It matches you with players above your level. Fair enough, if that's what you're saying, but that doesn't explain what I'm asking. I'm not saying, okay, maybe I suck because I'm playing against better players. Fine. If that's the case, that makes sense. Why am I filling someone with bullets and they don't die, but then they insta-kill me? I want the answer to that. And so far, no one has countered it. No one has explained. No one has said anything about the spawn system either. The things that I'm criticizing, no one is saying, oh, well, no, you're not telling the truth. I'm not saying I'm good at the game. I'm bad at the game. So undoubtedly, yeah, anyone who's been playing the game and paying attention to it and practicing is better than me. Okay? Like here's a perfect example. Because I distinctly remember it was right near the end of the session. Okay? This new wall hopping nonsense, okay? So a guy jumped out of a alleyway. Okay, in front of me. He jumped. I aimed and fired and hit him 3 times. Boom, boom, boom. Every bullet connected. He hit the wall. He bounced off the wall with the foot and jumped back this way, now realizing he's getting hit by bullets trying to avoid me. I then continued to aim and fire and hit him, boom, 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 3 more times. So that was 6 bullets hit this guy. He did not die. He landed. He jumped again. And while during this second jump, fired a volley of shots on me. By the way, all this time, I continued to fire at him. And at this point, I don't think every bullet hit, but 6 bullets had already hit. He should already be dead, and he's not. Okay? He jumps and fires. I instantly die. So I just wanted you to think about that. 3 hits. He lands, he jumps again. Instant kill on me. Does that make any fucking sense for a competitive first-person shooter in any way, shape, or form? In what world or circumstance should that ever fucking happen in any kind of a competitive game? Never. Never at all. So do you see what my point is? It just doesn't make sense. The gameplay itself isn't making sense, and that's why I'm confused. Some people are actually saying that anyone playing on a gamepad, that the gamepad is actually giving this big auto aim assist because it recognizes you're on pad and it gives you an advantage. And I'm playing on keyboard and mouse, and apparently there's no aim assist. I would agree with you, except when I played with sniper rifle, I swear to God they were giving me kills and I wasn't hitting the enemy. I was off and they were saying, oh, you got a headshot. And I was like, what? No, I didn't. So I just don't know. I don't get it. I guess we'll see today how things go. Like I said, let's try to get good. All right. Now, maybe today I stick with a certain build. Like, should I play with the shotgun again? Should I go to a certain SMG and try to get the good unlocks for it? Should I stick with a certain assault rifle and try to get a scope so I can actually kill things from mid to long range? I don't know. Again, I don't even know what the good guns were. So I didn't even know what to use on Friday. I was just literally switching guns constantly. So maybe today you guys can guide me with what guns are good so I know exactly what to do, right? I guess we could do, like you're saying, instead of doing the open matchmaking, try to figure it out. I don't know how to change that. If you guys can guide me to do the standard matchmaking instead of the open matchmaking, I would appreciate that because I have no clue how to change that setting. You guys had told me about it in the beta, but I didn't even see it activated in the finished game, so okay. So let's do some quick shout outs. We have Princess Luna gifted a membership. Thank you, Princess Luna, for the first membership of the day. I appreciate that. Then we had Joe with a $5 super chat. Thank you to Joe. And then we had the Omega Man with a $2 super chat. He says, we're here to support the king. All hail Phil. Thank you. MVL Roy just did a $2 super chat. Well, would you recommend buying Black Ops 7? Is it worth it? At this point, NVL Roy, I'm just so confused with what happened on Friday that I don't think I should be giving an opinion yet. I feel like I need to get to the point where I am unlocking stuff and I can play better, and then I'll give you my actual educated opinion. I don't think I've played enough to have an educated opinion yet. But like I said, what can I objectively review? The game runs gorgeous on my PC. It looks great. It seemed smooth reaction when I was playing on keyboard and mouse. That much was fun. There are a good amount of maps. The unlocks are at a good pace. You know, I don't really have any complaints about that. But the gameplay elements that confused me, yeah, they confused me. So I don't know what to tell you yet. The thing is also, understand I am not going to be playing this game offline. I have no intention of playing the campaign or anything like that. I just don't give a shit. Okay? I'm being told it's a one button press in the lobby changes the standard playlist. I don't know. You saw all I was doing was trying to filter out. Oh, I do have to call that out. I totally forgot about it. Because to me, this was like a silly thing. There was a game bug on Friday, launch day. So you want to select what game mode you want to play when you're searching for matches. Okay, I want to play Team Deathmatch, Domination, and Kill Confirm. Those are my favorites. Have everything else unchecked. Play your first match. Good. Next match. Okay, let me go ahead and search again. The game has a 50-50 chance of reverting your choices. What do I mean? It literally will do the opposite of what you want. So if you just wanted those 3 game modes, it will uncheck those and check every other game mode. I noticed this because I went to another lobby and I was on hardpoint. I'm like, why the fuck am I playing hardpoint? I don't have that selected. So I backed out, checked the search. It literally fucking reversed my selections. And it did this all day long. I want you to think about this. A fucking $1 trillion company, the biggest game of the year every year, the game devs are so fucking bad at what they do, they didn't catch a bug that plays the opposite match types of what you've selected when you're doing matchmaking. It was too hard to find that bug. The play testers never found it. Are you fucking kidding me? That's fucking pathetic. That's insanely fucking embarrassing for Treyarch that they put out a game that it literally reverses the fucking thing. Like, what are you talking about? So anyway, yeah. So I can't really give you a full opinion yet until I play more. We'll play it today. We're gonna play it in a couple of days. I'm gonna give it a break tomorrow only because I don't want to play it every day and then get burned out on it. But we'll go back to it on Tuesday. We'll be alternating it, or maybe we'll be alternating streams of it. We'll see. I'll let you know more. Basically, by the end of the week, you think if I play it like 2, 3, 4 times this week, I'll have a much better experience with it. Okay. So here's what I'll do. I'm also, like I said, I will today, after we finish the podcast and the reacting I'm going to do, I will try to, well, I won't try to, I'll change my display settings to go from 4K down to only 1080p, 120 hertz to make sure that everything is good on my PC, to make sure it's not some kind of input lag issue that's causing all these problems for me, okay? Soul at 2 a.m., thanks for $2. He said, that's the AI quality testing for you. Yeah, I mean, it's hilarious. They're talking about they're going to have AI do the quality testing for games now. Well, if this is an example of that, you might as well not test it at all. I mean, I couldn't believe they didn't fucking find that bug. It's like something that a simpleton who plays the game and searches twice for matches would find the bug, but the fucking $1 trillion company didn't find it. Holy shit. Okay. So, also, by the way, I will say this in regards to Friday. I want to say thank you because I played 2 streams of Call of Duty and we did hit the goals for both streams. Although, I'll be honest, it was a little weird because on Thursday, I did a podcast, I played Pokemon, and I did a Chill with Phil stream. And I hit 2 goals per stream of support on Thursday. And then come Friday, I'm playing Call of Duty all day, which is the game that's the sweats, the game where I'm raging, the game where I suck, and I hit 1 goal per stream. I did worse playing the hype game that causes me to rage all day long with support than I did the day before, literally just relaxing with the audience all day. And I want you to put that into perspective. I want you to think about it for a second. What I've been saying recently, what I've been saying this past year, that my audience is changing, at least my supportive audience. What's happening is now there's 2 distinct audiences. There is an audience that wants to see me rage and suffer, but that audience isn't supportive. That audience goes and watches the illegal restreams, the detractor clips, the highlights that are negative. And then my positive audience is the actual group of people who come to my streams, the 300 people who are watching me live on YouTube right now. That's the positive audience. Those are the people that are supporting my content. Those are the people that are contributing every day and keeping me afloat. So the question is, should I focus on hyper, negative, toxic, douchebag jerks, or should I focus on the positive people who actually want to see me succeed? What do you think I should do? You want to know the truth? Here's the truth. I think it's a happy medium. I don't think that the answer is to lean all the way into the one side or to lean all the way into the other side. I don't. I feel like if you do that, you basically turn yourself into a one-trick pony. If I just do chill streams all the time with an audience, yeah, it might work at first for support, but eventually what's going to happen is, well, if all I ever do is chill streaming, then it doesn't feel special. It doesn't feel meaningful because it's literally what I do all day, every day. If I do the rage content, right? And I do it all the time. If I'm only playing from soft level difficulty games, multiplayer games like Street Fighter, Call of Duty, and I'm raging constantly, again, you will really see that that won't work because there's too much of it. There's oversaturation. It's funny to see me rage every once in a while because I'm not doing it all the time. I go out of my comfort zone to play the difficult game, it kicks my ass, and then I rage at it, boom, now you've got a hit. As opposed to, well, Phil just rages and crashes out every single stream. Then it's not that entertaining, you see? I've got to find that right balance, I feel. Like I've talked about last week, I have two audiences. I have a YouTube audience and I have a Kick audience. I have one audience that's very positive and supportive and one audience that actually just wants to make fun of me all day. But I understand the need for both. I'm not ignorant. I'm not stupid. I understand that they can actually coexist as long as it's done right. It's a tough tightrope to walk, okay? But days like Friday work as long as people actually show up, engage, and support that content. Days like Thursday also work as long as the other audience will show up, engage, and support with the content. Particularly right now, it seems like the chill content is actually doing better for me. Really. But I guess we'll see. Well, let's see how things go. I'm curious. Like I told you guys, I said this on Friday, okay? If you guys show up, engage, and support with the Call of Duty streams, I'll play it more. If within a few streams of Call of Duty, it slows down, views are down, engagement is down, support is down, I'm not even hitting goals anymore, then I'm just not going to play it that much. I'll play it maybe once a week. We'll do one night stream of Call of Duty a week. That's it. And that means I'll never get good. You're never going to see anything more than just me dying constantly, and fucking around. But the truth is, I really liked playing Call of Duty last year on keyboard and mouse for the couple months that I did. I was having a good time with it. So now this year, I have the opportunity to start right at the beginning, playing on keyboard and mouse on PC, learning the game, trying to get good at it. I do have that opportunity. I would like to take advantage of that opportunity, but I definitely need you guys to be here for these streams to support them. All right. I understand right now I'm doing a podcast. Stick around for Call of Duty, support Call of Duty. Let's hit the support goal for this stream. And then I could keep playing Call of Duty. I'll put the effort in. I will. If you give me the engagement and the support, then I will put in the effort. That's my commitment to you. All right. But if all of a sudden I see people not supporting and saying, oh, this sucks now, you know what I'm saying? Then I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to play it. We'll do other stuff. There's other things to do. There's many games I'm being asked to try and play constantly. There's a lot of chill content we could do instead. Let's see how it goes, right? Okay. Do I want to play Call of Duty? I do. I do want to play it. That's why I was so confused on Friday with how it played, because I didn't feel like I had that experience with Black Ops 6. I felt like with Black Ops 6, once I got on mouse and keyboard, I got into it and I started doing well and enjoying myself. And I played for over 5 hours on Friday, and I was scratching my head, insanely confused of what was going on. Why won't anyone die? Why can't I get more than one kill until I'm completely surrounded and turned into a pile of mulch? It hasn't been like that, so why is it like it now? I would love answers, okay? Anyway, Thank you to Shocks. Shocks just did a $10 super chat. That's our biggest contribution so far today. Any publicity is good publicity. Have a great day at stream. Thank you, Shocks. I appreciate that. I think the next logical thing that we should do is we should react to the trailers that I wanted to react to last week, and I didn't get around to it. I think that just makes more sense. I want to do that before I get caught up in other things, and then I get distracted and we never get to it. Because people wanted to see this stuff on Friday and we never got to it. By the way, I received a $1 tip. Someone says Call of Duty actually doesn't seem to be doing that great this year. Not only is it the lowest user review Call of Duty ever, Arc Raiders and Battlefield 6 are eating into its launch on Twitch and Steam. Huge decline compared to last year and less hype for it in general. That's to be expected. When you have two other shooters that came out that directly compete with it, while last year there was 0 other shooters that had come out to compete with it, that's exactly what's going to happen. You're always going to have that pull in other directions. Now, the question is longevity. Because right now, you had Battlefield being played for a month, correct? You had Arc Raiders being played for, a couple weeks? Call of Duty just came out. Will those games retain the attention they have right now, or are they going to get stagnant? I compare this to not many years ago now, but remember, everyone, I just got one thing I have to call attention to. Halo Infinite. Okay? You remember Halo Infinite? I do. So Halo Infinite drops. It's an instant success. Everyone says, this is the best Halo we have played in a million years. The online play is superb. It's exactly what we've wanted from Halo all these years, and they're finally giving it to us. And people were blown away by Halo Infinite. It actually was doing numbers. It was actually getting way more attention than Call of Duty. It was, okay? What happened with Halo Infinite was that within 2 months of the game being out, it fell completely apart. The game devs didn't update it, didn't put content into it, didn't give you a reason to keep playing. It became the same shit so much, you were bored, okay? So within 2 months, the entire game just crashed and burned. And you had the most popular FPS game of the year literally fail, not because it was a bad game, but because the game devs were inept at what they did. I'm sorry to say, 343 Industries actually is a bad game development studio. They don't know how to make games, and they certainly don't know how to maintain an online community or have any kind of ongoing interest in a game with a multiplayer component. They completely dropped the ball. And because of that, the game actually died. Okay? Will Battlefield and Arc Raiders, who have attention on them right now, be able to maintain? Because if there's one game that I could tell you has a way to hook an audience and retain them, it's Call of Duty. The seasonal updates with the new maps and new content, the constant drops of weekly events of skins and themed collaborations and things, they have that formula down. Okay? So that's the question. By the way, I'm not saying that I want Call of Duty to succeed. In fact, I've said this many times over the years. They need real competition, because without real competition, they have absolutely no actual reason to improve or do anything better ever. They can just coast every year because they're the only big dog in the yard. But if they do have other games that are pulling up their market share and pulling up their player base, now they're going to say, shit, we actually have to do something to compete and improve. We have to make a concerted effort to try to be better. So if this year Call of Duty actually does flounder and ends up not retaining the title of top FPS and these other games are doing better, it might make the next few be better. I mean, as I said, it's pathetic that we're playing Black Ops 7 with throwback maps from like Black Ops 2, and you're yearning to play Black Ops 2 again instead of Black Ops 7. That shouldn't be the case at all. You should be like, oh, dude, it's a throwback. This is awesome. Now we can play it like back in the day and we can have fun again. Instead, it's like, wow, this plays nothing like back in the day. This is ass. I hate this. That's not a good look for your new game, you know? Okay. So, some more shout outs here. We have Casanova, 50 whopping months as a member. Thank you so much for your ongoing support, Casanova. He says, I wonder if we'll get Black Ops 10. At this rate, yeah, we will. They are so uninspired. to not do anything new. Again, if the status quo is just regurgitate the same game again next year with some tweaks and new skins and shit, but people still buy it and spend, why put effort in? Same thing with every company that this has happened to. Valve, amazing game developer and publisher. Oh, look, Steam came out. It's printing money. Don't make any more games. Right? What about Rockstar? Rockstar, which has amazing franchises like Red Dead Redemption, Grand Theft Auto, Bully, among others, right? They bought Max Payne 3, or they bought Max Payne, made Max Payne 3. Oh, we made GTA Online. It prints us money. Fuck everything else. We're not making anything. We're just going to make GTA Online content because it's easy to pump out. Like, literally, it could be made by a monkey, and people will give us millions of dollars for it because they're stupid. Okay. So that's what's happened with Call of Duty. They used to have to actually try. They haven't tried in many years. So now, if this year they have that competition, maybe they'll have to try, you know? But the thing is, I don't want Black Ops 10. I want new games. I don't want Modern Warfare 17 and Black Ops 35. I want something new. Something that they actually try, you know? Dominic with a $10 super chat this morning. Thank you to Dominic. He says, sorry if you answered this. Any plans on trying Dispatch? To be honest with you, Dominic, I don't think so. And there's a few reasons. Reason number one, I'm not convinced that a narrative-based game like that will work for my content anymore. The only exception to that rule, I would say, is horror games, because the horror-style narrative games are fun. They have jump scares. I can react to being scared and silly, and you can laugh. You can try to predict what's going to happen, stuff like that. There's stakes involved in those games, trying to get people to live or die or whatever I'm saying. But in the case of the modern game, like, take a look at games like Life is Strange. Right? Take a look at any of the other ones that I've tried to play in the last 5 to 10 years. They haven't done very well. It seems like the era of the narrative-based game kind of already dwindled and faltered. So Dispatch very much may be a game that's fun to play for yourself and experience the story, but I don't know if anyone just wants to see me do a narrative-based story time game again. You know what I mean? Like, the era of The Walking Dead and those kind of playthroughs, The Wolf Among Us, is like 15 years ago. I just don't think it really works that much for an interactive audience, to be fair, okay? I'm not saying anything negative about the game. I'm just saying I don't think it's a very good streaming game. And then number two, there's YouTubers in it. There's some controversial stuff that could be in it, like sex scenes and shit like that. And I'm like, do you really want to deal with that? Really? I boot the game, and all you're going to hear people make them kiss. Oh, do the romance. Oh, do that. Shut the fuck up. Like, I just don't want to be bothered by idiots. And the thing is, we're having good fun right now at what we're doing. I don't think that I need to be interjecting the stupid thing into the situation that's just going to cause drama and idiots, to come in and be a part of the nonsense. So, that's just my take. You can disagree. It's fine. I'm not saying it's a bad game. People seem to be saying it's a very great game. It's the first actually good narrative-based game in a very long time of this style. So good for them. I heard it's doing big numbers sales-wise. Good for them. I just don't think it's going to work for the kind of content that I'm putting out in this day and age. You know what I mean? It did back in the day when I was doing the offline videos. That was just me commentating on the game. It wasn't interaction with an audience and stuff like that. You didn't have that element. Then those games, work. I just don't think they really work anymore. Mozzie, 24 months as a member, hitting the 2-month milestone. Enjoy your new crown. Says, I just bought Black Ops 7 today. Am I screwed? I don't know. It really depends. Like I said, I played it all day Friday. Today, maybe I'll have a different experience. Number one, it's later on, so less people will be probably playing today. Maybe the server situation will be better. I'm going to change my resolution. Maybe that'll stop some input delay. We'll see. There's a few tweaks and things we can do to see if we can make this experience a little better, and then we'll go from there. The Villain, 7 months as a member, and he did a big flex. Is that a flex? A flex emo. Thank you to the Villain for the flex emo. It looks like we had our first kicks, I believe. Let me take a look here. Let's see. Got a filter. Yes. 500 kicks from 220. That is our first contribution of the week from Kick. So here's the deal. It's time to get demonetized. I mean it. Because what I'm about to do, I'm about to react to a couple of trailers that I know you guys want to see me react to. But I know that this stream will now get demonetized because I'm about to react to them. And there's not much I can do about that. It's really stupid that YouTube works this way, because you very well should be able to react to a movie trailer it should be legal and allowed, but YouTube claims it anyway because YouTube's fucked up and stupid. So I'm going to lose all ad revenue on this podcast, okay? Not much I can do about it, okay? Cool. Casanova says the Indiana Jones game is on PS5. The disc only has a file to unlock the actual game to download on full-on PSN. Yes. That's all games from now on. There will almost never be a game that will be on a game disc. A game disc is literally a piece of plastic meant to act like a surrogate for you owning something when you really don't. All you own is a license to play a piece of software. You don't own the software. Therefore, it's actually worthless. But for some reason, people have this weird notion that they own games when they don't. They never have, right? Jade says Batman games no more because Batman, like Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill, they're not doing it anymore. Oh, right. I mean, poor Kevin Conroy. We lost him, what was it, about a year, 2 years ago? I can't remember when he passed. And Mark Hamill, I think he said he's done with the Joker, I think he said. Like I think he did 1 or 2 final performances as the Joker. And I think he announced he's done as the Joker now. He doesn't want to do it anymore. So you're right. If we do have future Batman games, which we might, it's not going to be the same. We had that perfect era trilogy of the Arkham trilogy. You had the exact right people in the roles. The games were like actual comic book experiences. And I don't think we'll ever recapture that era of Batman again. I agree with you. What I would hope is that we can now have other characters come to the forefront. Can we actually have an X-Men game? Can we have a Superman game? Can we have these games to capture other comic book IP, universes? Because there's tons of good stuff in comics. They just don't do it. I don't know why. I don't know why they ignore it. Well, how on earth is there not a good Superman game ever? Superman was the first big comic book star. Like, literally, Superman was the first big comic book star. Why is he not having a good game ever? It's confusing, no? It's pretty darn confusing, in my opinion. Okay. It's time to react, folks. You ready? Let's do this. Let's do some reacting right now. Here we go. Super Mario Galaxy trailer from Illumination. To reiterate, before we begin with this, I did not like the original Super Mario Brothers movie. I know I'm in a big minority there. But the reason is I felt if they were going to do a Mario movie and make it mainstream like a movie rather than just a game adaptation, what they needed to do was go through the lore and have an established world with characters and criteria. Instead, in that movie, what they did is they did a hodgepodge of nonsense. They jammed characters from 14 different games together, including Donkey Kong, that's not part of the Mario universe, and Mario Kart. They just made this giant mess of light, flashiness, color, and no substance. It was just loud, fast, and bright, but it didn't mean anything to me. Like, I watched it and I felt like it was like not fun at all. I thought it was boring. Honestly, I was actually so bored watching it that about an hour in, I started to fall asleep trying to watch the Mario movie. When they finally jumped into the Mario Karts and were driving, I couldn't believe it. I was like, I can't believe this is in the movie. What are they doing? And then the thing is, they would try to get at you with like, oh, let's put a random song in here from like Mario Sunshine or Mario World or Mario whatever. Well, I recognize the song. Why is it playing right now? Nothing in the movie has anything to do with those games. It just didn't feel like it was made by Mario fans. It felt like it was made by fans who wanted to, or people who knew how to make a movie that would appeal to kids and would have a few pieces of humor for adults, but it didn't feel like it was for Mario fans. Do you see what I'm saying? Here I am, a lifelong Mario fan, waiting for an actual good Mario movie, and what they did is they put out a movie that has Mario in it, but isn't Mario. It's just a hodgepodge of nonsense. Anyway, let's see what they do with the Mario Galaxy movie. A little confusing, because if you think of the order of Mario games, you had Mario Brothers, Super Mario 2, Mario 3, Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. Then you had Mario 64, Mario Sunshine. There might have been another one in there that I'm not remembering. Then we had Mario Galaxy. So that's 9 games to get to Mario Galaxy. What happened to the other ones? Because we're going straight from the first movie now to Mario Galaxy. Okay. And by the way, Huck It Crab did a $2 super chat and says, you wrote Project 7, your opinion is disregarded. Ah, but Project 7 was supposed to be bad. That was the point. We were purposely trying to write a bad, cheesy show. That was the idea. With the Mario movie, that's not a parody. That's actually intended to be good. Let's check it out. The volume's really low.
Hey, big guy!
Oh,
You wanted to see us?
don't move, I'll be right up. Sipping the soup, cleaning the paint. Boodle-doo, boodle-doo, and also trim.
You guys remember Mario when Bowser danced around saying doodly-doo, doodly-doo?
The bonsai bush. Here we go. Hey, Luigi. What's up, Mario? Behold, I made a masterpiece for Princess Peach. What do you think?
Love the colors.
It's trash.
How dare you look at my masterpiece and say that?
I'll burn the skin off your bones!
Wow. Sorry about that. That's the old Bowser talking. Still working through my demons, I suppose.
This isn't even a trailer. This is a scene from the movie. This is not a movie trailer. This is just an excerpt. This isn't even showing me what this has to do with Mario Galaxy. Like, I don't want to see a comedy routine that they think is funny from the movie. I want to see the movie. This... Okay.
Anyway, I need my 8 hours.
And by the way, doesn't it make Bowser's voice even more obnoxious that it's Jack Black when they make it high-pitched because he's a shrunken version of himself now? It's even more
Or
obnoxious.
else I really turn into a monster.
And when you slow down the Mario theme to have an orchestra play it slow, it doesn't mean that it's epic or interesting. It makes it sound like you want it to be, but it's not. It's just a Mario song. It's fine to just be the Mario song. You don't have to play it like this. And we're supposed to go, oh, there's an orchestra playing it now. It's like grandiose or something.
I'm Bowser Jr., and I'm gonna be taking my father now!
What a mess. That's not even the plot of Mario Galaxy at all. Has nothing to do with Bowser Jr. trying to rescue his dad. So it's the Super Mario Galaxy movie, but the plot isn't the plot of Mario Galaxy. Okay.
Princess Rosalina, you're coming with me.
Anyone remember when in the Super Mario Galaxy game, Rosalina has superpowers and can destroy giant mechs? You see my point? This has nothing to do with Mario. What it is this is an action movie slash glitzy, colorful movie for kids. And of course, there'll be humor in there that they're trying to get to appeal to adults. This is not a Mario movie. At all. It has nothing to do with Mario Galaxy. It has nothing to do with Mario at all. These could be other characters in these roles that aren't Mario and the crew, and it would be the same movie. I want you to think about what I just said. You could put any generic villain in the role of Bowser. You could have two heroes as the protagonists. You could have a girl boss as Peach and Rosalina. It doesn't have to be these characters because these characters are not representative of what they are in the games. They're just making these movies with the characters slapped on and say, oh, we want to make money now. And you want to know what's actually hilarious? We just had an interview with Miyamoto. And what Miyamoto said in the interview was, well, the reason that it makes sense now to have our characters in movies like this is because it's for posterity purposes. You know, a game becomes obsolete when the new one comes out. The new one replaces the old one. But in the case of a movie stands forever. Well, if this is what you're trying to do, you're doing a piss poor job because these characters in this movie has nothing to do with your games. Like, at all. That had nothing to do with Mario Galaxy. At all. Zero. And that was the trailer they put out for the Mario Galaxy movie. I'm sorry, that looks like garbage to me. Nothing in this sequence with Bowser was funny at all. Zero. Not representative of the character of Bowser. Still the stupid, obnoxious voices for the Mario Brothers that don't fit. And the movie has nothing to do with Mario Galaxy. Gee, should I say I'm excited to see it? I'm not. I'm actually a fan of Mario. Maybe that's my problem. I should go into this with my brain unplugged and the drool coming out of my mouth. And then maybe I'll be like, duh, Flash movie, good. I can't do that. You know? Can't. Maybe if I was one of these brain rot kids who grew up terminally online, plugged into the internet meme culture, I would have liked the 2 minutes I just watched. I'm sorry, I have some intelligence. So I didn't like it. I didn't like the first movie either. I don't think I'm going to like this one. Just saying. Okay? All right, well, that's one down. Let's hope that the second react I'm about to do will be a little better. Someone tipped $2 said, what about a Superman game? The problem is balancing. You're either going to end up underpowered and you'll break immersion, or overpowered and it's too easy. Put you on a time limit. It becomes slightly better than Superman 64. No, I'm not saying that making a Superman game would be easy by any means. Then again, I don't think making a Batman game was easy. I think that Rocksteady really worked their ass off to capture the essence of what Batman should be in a video game, because so many had tried it. Think about all the Batman video games before, right? You had the platformers, you had shooter games, you had beat 'em ups that looked like Mortal Kombat. You had so many different takes and attempts at Batman, and it wasn't until the Rocksteady version that they nailed it. Just saying. So it might be tough to get back to Superman, but I think it can be done. Someone tipped $1.25 and said, I really like the Mario trailer. Why are you negative? Try enjoying the little things in life. Well, because that's not a little thing. Miyamoto himself says this is the way to immortalize the characters. Well, you changed the characters. You didn't immortalize what I grew up with and love. You changed it. Why should I be happy about that? Right? What if they make this Wolverine game and Wolverine is a sissy? Think about that. Wolverine, right? He's the best at what he does, and what he does ain't pretty. And he's ruthless, berserker. He loses control. And then he's a sissy. Would you be happy with that? I'm just saying. If you don't represent what it's supposed to be, then don't even call it that. There's no reason you can't make a children's movie like that, but don't call it Super Mario Galaxy movie because it has nothing to do with Super Mario Galaxy. It's a shame. What they're doing is they are changing and ruining what we grew up with to make it mainstream to get box office numbers. You know? Exactly. Wolverine in a tutu dancing around painting paintings. Say, you know, what is it? The League of Evil Mutants, the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants capture Wolverine and they shrink him down. He's inside of a castle and he's painting pictures that Magneto is bones. That's Super Mario Galaxy movie. So up next, I'm about to react to Fallout Season 2 on Prime Video. Fallout Season 1, I felt, was a treat, even though it was not 100% in line with the things that we know from the video games of Fallout. It was still a wild ride. It was fun. It did actually have things that were, I would say, almost like in the line of the lore of Fallout. And it's cool because we're not getting new Fallout games. Like, I mean, do we just need to accept that Bethesda has gone the route of Rockstar, that Bethesda is not going to make good new games anymore. They're just going to keep pumping out content for their live service games because it's easy to do and they're lazy and they've lost their talent. So we're going to get Fallout 76 updates. We're going to get, you know, Elder Scrolls Online updates. We'll probably never see another Fallout. I think you guys should accept that. I'm serious about that too. Like, I doubt it. I really doubt, or if we do, it's going to be awful. Okay? So in regards to the TV show, at least we have some kind of cool Fallout coming out. And I actually really liked season 1. Okay? So season 2 looks like it's all about New Vegas, which is amazing. New Vegas was a great video game. I'm curious if they're actually going to try to show what happened in New Vegas. Because remember, at the end of Fallout New Vegas, there's 3 options. You side with the NCR, you side with the Legion, or you side with Mr. House, or there actually is a 4th option to just go at it alone, teaming up with Yes Man the Automatron, right? So I guess the question is, what's the canon ending? Is there a canon ending? We don't know because we were never given a follow-up and it was never referenced anywhere else. So we have no idea what actually happens with New Vegas. It's kind of always choose your own ending. So what are they going with in the show? Let's take a look.
So I've seen a lot of things.
Once again, the volume is incredibly low. Okay, here we go. Well, this, I already heard about this. Did you see that? That the Kings, which is supposed to be the gang in the actual strip of New Vegas, that all dress and look like Elvis Presley, apparently now they've all become ghouls. And it was like, well, how the hell did that happen? That didn't happen in the game, right? That's interesting. We got Rad Scorpion.
Unnatural things.
Rad Roach.
But good people? No. That girl I met. I would be a good person too if I grew up in some cozy little impenetrable home. I would steal and stab and fib all the goddamn time just to get by.
Oh, the guy's still trapped down there.
What exactly is it you plan on doing once we find your daddy?
Gonna bring him to justice. So people know that how they conduct themselves matters. And they don't give up hope.
The stuff we fight for? Story has it you used to believe in those things too.
Is that NCR? So the NCR is still alive. But it looks like they're fucked up. Interesting.
200 years. I've kept myself alive for one reason. To find my family.
Oh, we're finally gonna get Ghoul backstory. I mean, we had Ghoul backstory in the first season, right? But we didn't really know what his motivations were now. Like, we knew we were getting his backstory out when he was an actor and everything, but we didn't know what his motivations were in the present day. We're finally gonna get that, it sounds like.
Well then, you're gonna need friends.
What's that? Is that a super mutant?
There's a war coming.
I think so. I think that's a super mutant. They didn't want to show him, so they just had the screen blacked out. That's gonna be cool if there's a super mutant in the season.
I understand we're discussing a civil war. I must not have gotten my invitation.
There's Yes Man. Well, not really Yes Man. That was an automatron, and it had a you know, the army face on it. That's what they looked like when they were mobilized by Mr. House. There's Mr. House. Holy shit.
They're actually beginning to get along.
I like that they're in like the hotels of Vegas doing stuff because that's New Vegas. That's cool. It's going to be a major part of the season. Ew. That was Caesar's. I just noticed that was Caesar's Legion. So Caesar's Legion's in it too. So no one really won. If Caesar's Legion is still around and the NCR is still around, no one actually won at the end of New Vegas. So what the hell was the ending?
Try again.
They're on the strip. Oh, this is cool. Oh, there's freaking Deathclaw.
So this is Vegas, huh? I'd ask why my dad ran into a den of monsters, but he'd probably just tell me to shut the fudge up.
Well, I like that because it didn't spoil. Like, you know, you have no clue. We just saw Caesar's Legion, we saw the NCR, we saw Mr. House, and we know the Automatron still exists. So we have no clue who won, and it doesn't look like anyone won, because New Vegas is still there, and it still seems to be running on its own, like no one took it over, which was actually what you thought would have happened at the end of the game if one of the factions won, that New Vegas would have lost its status of what it was. So I'm intrigued. It looks like they went all out, like the budget increased. Did you notice with the death claws and everything? If they're going to have these giant creatures now, they'll probably have more budget for this season. And I'm sure there's probably going to be a really cool New Vegas sets and everything, right? Pretty neat. All right, well, I'm excited. I hope you guys, I'm going to watch it for sure. Kat and I loved the first season, so we're excited. Here's the thing, though, and this is what's crazy, is that on the internet, there are people who are so crazy for this kind of stuff that, like, they'll watch that trailer and they'll completely freak out. They'll be like, that's not possible. How could the kings be ghouls? How could Mr. House still be alive? What could they do? Blah, blah, blah. They freak out. It's like, I said this before and I'll say it again, okay? This is all meant to be entertainment. This is meant to be a way for you to have a distraction from your real life, to just enjoy something. You don't have to microanalyze it. You don't have to say, oh, it's bad because it's not in line with something we thought about the game. There are no games. Can I explain that? There are no Fallout games anymore. The last new Fallout game we actually had was Fallout 4. That's it. Fallout 76 is a games as a live service game. It's not really Fallout. You can say it is. It's not. Okay? It's their money to print money. It doesn't matter. The last actual canon entry that we have is Fallout 4, and that's all we'll know until they make another one. Guess what? They're not making another one. They even said they're working on Elder Scrolls next, and that's years out. So what, you're going to be fucking 82 years old by the time that Fallout 5 comes out? Who cares? So just sit back, relax, enjoy what they're doing with Fallout, in my opinion. That's my opinion. All right? You should have a good time with it. But at the same time, I understand people will say, well, Phil, aren't you being controversial? Or excuse me, aren't you being, not controversial, contradictory? Because you literally just watched the Mario trailer. And you said it sucks because it's not in line with what we know about Mario, right? Except here's the critical difference, all right? What we just watched, you notice characters from the game, continuing the plot line from the game. The world is pretty much in line with the games. There's a few tweaks here or there that are different. If you remember, some of the rules about ghouls were changed so that it would make more sense for the story of the TV show. But for the most part, you could watch that and say, that's Fallout. That's that character. That makes sense in that regard. Look, it's cool because you're going to have this and that, right? It all makes sense. Now, if the season starts and all of a sudden one of these characters, like Mr. House, is completely out of character and nothing like he ever was in the games, then that maybe would be something I would criticize. You know what I'm saying? But that's the point I'm making here. That show is following the narrative of the games at least as much as it can, taking a few creative liberties, but it's recognizable as Fallout, and it respects the fans. Those people who actually like it are going to watch that and have a good fun time. If you like Mario a lot and you just see the movie, it has nothing to do with Mario. But that's supposed to be your Mario movie, and you're supposed to enjoy it. That's the difference. Like, I don't get it. You will have, okay, here's how I can really explain it. I think this will make more sense. You can watch the Super Mario movie. You can probably watch the Super Mario Galaxy movie without ever having done anything Mario whatsoever in your lifetime. Never played a game, never anything. And you'll enjoy it for what it is. But having played the games adds absolutely no additional value whatsoever. Zero. You play the games. In fact, you'll be confused. What does this have to do with the movies? If you're a fan of Fallout and you've played those games and you know the lore and then you watch the show, you love it. You appreciate the work they put into the show, the love and attention that they gave the lore of Fallout. Now, if you're a nitpicking jerk on the internet who's these micro-analyzing nerds who's just angry at everything because it's not what you wanted as your outcome for New Vegas, you're probably pissed at that trailer. Everyone else is like, yay, more Fallout, because we wanted more. This is how we're getting it. But by watching and or playing the previous games, you get more out of the show. That shows that they care about their fan base. They care about everyone who invested time and money into that franchise before, and they're giving you what you want. That's not what the Mario movie is doing whatsoever. Neither of them. The Mario movies are just, it's like, okay. It's kind of like empty calories versus protein, right? The Mario movie is like you open up a container of frosting and you're just eating it like this. Duh. Yeah, it tastes good, I guess, but it's really not good for you. If you're a fan of Fallout, it's like eating a delicious protein-infused meal. It's reinvigorating you. It's giving you the energy and the things you need to be strong and to enjoy. It feels rewarding. It feels like it means something because you've invested all this over the years into that franchise, and now you're getting some more out of it because you waited so long. Mario, it's like someone took a turd in a fucking sparkly toilet, and they said, here's the movie. Yeah, it's still a turd. The toilet's nice and sparkly, but the turd still stinks. Anyway, that's my take on it. You could disagree if you want. There you go. Vassold, with a 1313 super chat, becomes our biggest contributor of the day. Let's get this up on the leaderboard. Vassold says, it's good when trailers don't spoil the show or movie. I hated how they showed the best scene in The Whale in the trailer. Imagine how much more powerful it would have been if you weren't ready for it. Good point. I know exactly what the moment you're talking about, too, and I'm not going to spoil it. Not a Wabbit did a $2 super chat. You just did that to Mario. No, I just explained how I didn't. Because I hate to say it, a lot of people are very, very smooth-brained simpletons these days, and they can't understand the difference. They think, well, he criticized one thing for the same thing that he's now praising this for. No, I didn't. You need to have nuance. You need to have a complex thought to understand the difference. Sorry if you can't. I now explained it to you. If you still don't get it, I can't help you. It's going to take years of discipline and mental, workouts for you to understand nuanced thought. I can't make your brain gain IQ points here on the stream, spontaneously. Anyway. All right. All right, folks. So pretty much that's what I've got for today. Now, the one topic that I didn't really update you guys on or anything, it's very simple. The reason that I didn't update you is because I don't have an update for you. I wish that I did. All right, so here's what's going on in a nutshell, very briefly. I'm going to summarize it as quickly as I can. In the last week, the streamer/content creator Asmon started watching my detractor content publicly on his stream. Not once, but twice. Okay? I didn't actually see the raw reaction to it, but I saw clips of it, and basically, he's seeing stuff completely out of context. Okay? Completely out of context. He thinks I'm banned on Twitch TV. He thinks that I'm poor. All these things that are completely wrong. But that's what my detractors say about me. So he watches it, he believes it. So a couple times in the last week, when people were asking me about it, particularly, for example, during my truck sim stream last week and stuff like that, I would respond and be like, listen, in general, I stay out of this stuff. I gave my opinions on it, basically publicly saying he's reacting to content that's out of context. He'll believe it because he's meant to believe it based on the way that content is presented. And it ain't fair, but what can I do? It's punching down. I have no way to defend myself against it because he has an insane audience. I don't, right? Everything that I say gets misconstrued, gets misrepresented on the internet by my haters, right? So I didn't think it was fair. I felt I was upset about it. I don't think that's fair that happens. But hey, what I did say is I don't care because I'm going to be doing my thing no matter what. It ain't going to hurt me in the long run. Every single person has done this. Every single person, it seems, will at some point. He's not the first big guy to talk shit about me. So it is what it is. So the thing is, people kept sending him these little reactions that I would have to it. And then eventually, after going back and forth, okay, just reacting to my stuff, I said the other day, it's easy for this guy to just keep reacting to the detractor content, but then why doesn't he talk to the person? Why doesn't he watch the raw content? If he would just sit here and watch my podcast, sit here and watch me play a game, he would see what my stream actually is. And if you want to know the truth, I think what he would say is my content's boring. He would probably not think that I'm that entertaining. It's only when you take the crash out moments, the times that I ask for contributions, and you put them together as like, oh, that's all Phil does. That's when you get that drama entertainment out of it. Okay? So I said, it's not fair. He should give me a fair shake. He should watch the content, or he should actually talk to me about it instead of laughing at the toxic stuff that's out of context because his audience then thinks that's who I am. Okay? So after having that back and forth, all right, the other night, I did a tweet at him that was insulting on purpose to get his attention. Now you might say, well, wait a minute. Why did you do it that way? Why weren't you nice? Because if I were nice, he never would have responded. Straight up. The only way to get attention on the internet in the modern day is to be a dick. So I tweeted at him basically saying, hey, stop being a bitch. Read your DMs. And then I sent him a DM. And I'm not going to read the DM word for word or anything, but to paraphrase, what I said in the DM was, hey, I'll say right up front, I apologize for being abrasive in that tweet, but I knew that sending it that way, people would send it to you to get your attention, so you'd actually read this DM. That if I didn't do it that way, you never would have seen this. But anyway, what I said to him was, you have all these misconceptions about me. You think I'm banned from Twitch? False. You think I'm poor? False. I have all these things, and this is the stuff that's propagated on the internet about me. So, let's have a real discussion. If you have questions, if you have things that you have issue with me, why don't we just talk about it? Rather than you watch the detractor videos that will give you the skewed perspective, I can give you the answers you want. Right now, I can explain the whole situation of what happened with Twitch, and you would get it because I'm not banned, right? So that's all I said. And then, I guess, yesterday, people said, hey, Phil DM'd you, so then he went and read my DM, and he reacted to it on his show and basically said, all right, I never do this, but since it seems like it's content that would be entertaining for me, for him, I would be willing to do this. Okay? So his perspective is we could co-stream it. Like he streams his side, I stream my side. So I would be here on my channel, he'd be on his channel. And I'm okay with that. The way I would do it, I would treat it just like any other guest on the show, where there's no pop-ups, there's no distractions. I'm not reading chat. It's just him and me talking for an hour or two, however long he wants to be on the show, right? He can stream his end on his show. So it's basically a co-show, if you really think about it. We retain the rights to each side to put on our channels. And then what I would do is after that, do a decompression session with you guys like I always do after I have a guest on, where we just chill for like an hour and we talk about what just happened. I could then do shout-outs for contributions and the like. Okay? So I'm totally down with that 100%. And I responded to him last night and said as much. I said, hey, I'm down for that. And I even suggested, I said, this week, Monday or Tuesday would be perfect. That I could do a show either Monday or Tuesday from like noon to 2 p.m. Pacific time, because he broadcasts the same times I do. Like as I was turning my stream on today, people were saying, oh, he just went live too. So I think we broadcast like the same times, right? So it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. We don't have to change our schedules or nothing. We would just do it maybe around noonish, my time. We do like a little 1 to 2 hour thing, either tomorrow or Tuesday. Now, the reason I saved this for the end of the show, I was hoping he would have responded to me today, but he didn't. He hasn't responded. So I guess it's not going to be tomorrow. Because if it were going to be tomorrow, you would think he would have read it and responded by now, because it sucks, because I wanted to say, hey, lock it in. I can't lock it in right now. So what I would say is I would hope that he'll respond in the next 24 hours, and we'll do it maybe Tuesday. So that'll be Tuesday's podcast, and likely Tuesday's main gameplay stream. Like, it won't be gameplay. It's going to be this, okay? But that's if he agrees, and he hasn't agreed yet. I already checked. Casanova, I already checked, like I said. He hasn't responded yet. His show is all over the place. Like, it's people suggesting stuff for him to react to and stuff, and I guess no one brought it up today that he would respond to it yet. So he hasn't responded yet. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I guess we'll see what happens. Okay? Yeah, there we go. He gets up around 9 to 10 a.m. my time. He streams at 11 my time. So he's literally doing my schedule. We do the same exact schedule. So there's no reason why we couldn't make it happen. But I'd like to do it, tomorrow or Tuesday. But let's see if he responds. Like I said, he hasn't responded. Okay? There you go. Fair enough? And I'll let you know. Obviously, if not, because here's the schedule. Today, it's Call of Duty right now. And tonight, it's Truck Sim. Tomorrow, there's no podcast. It's going to be Pokemon. And tomorrow night, we're doing, we're going to try this Leave It Alone game just to see what it is. See if it's entertaining and there. So then Tuesday's day stream is up in the air. If nothing's going down, there's going to be a podcast. And we're probably going to bring back Mario Galaxy to the fold. And then probably Tuesday night, we'll do Call of Duty. Okay? But obviously, if this happens, this takes precedent. And we'll do this on Tuesday instead. Okay? Cool. All right, that's it. All right, so we have a little bit of extra time. We haven't really had much interaction today because I was talking about Call of Duty and reacting to so much. What would you guys like to talk about? Let's do a little bit of Q&A to end the show, and then I'll go on my break, and then we're going to get set up for 2.5 hours of Call of Duty on stream. Okay? Yes, I've seen everyone making fun of the Black Ops 7 campaign. They're saying it's the worst campaign ever in a Call of Duty. It looks like AI-generated slop. It's just a joke. Jade, we will see, says, I hope you can get that gun today. I'm at level 30. I think the gun is like level 43. So it depends on the rate that I level up today. I don't know. What I hope is that I can at least get something fun unlocked, whether it's that melee class or whatever it is. You know, right now, I'm just kind of floundering, not knowing how to play the game. Yes, Truck Sim tonight. For those who've been all excited for it all week, Truck Sim returns tonight. That's the thing. Like, I wanted Truck Sim tonight because after having played Call of Duty 3 straight streams, I need the chill. I need to relax with you guys tonight. One Button Dash, yes, he's saying, to be fair, when you were a kid, you had the live-action Mario Brothers movie. Yes, and no one liked it. That's the point. No one liked that movie because it also had nothing to do with Mario, and no one liked it. Today, we have a Mario movie that also has nothing to do with Mario, but everyone likes it. Do I think AI will improve or ruin gaming? It's like I said, there are definitely things, okay, that AI can be used for that are incredibly effective and that save time. Any kind of monotonous, repetitive, menial task, grinding, basic coding that has to be done over and over, stuff like that. You shouldn't use AI to actually generate ideas. You shouldn't use AI to replace something that needed creativity to do, because AI is not creative. It can't be. Human creativity versus AI simulated creativity are two completely different things. But it seems like right now, AI is being used as a crutch to rush out projects to make things be done more quickly on a lower budget, and it's starting to show. When you take a look at the quality of things that are being used as AI, you know what I'm saying? Like, do I treat adaptations of different video games in higher or lower standard if they're made for kids or adults? No. I think there could be material that's translated for kids that's just as good. Like, for example, when I was growing up, there were 2 Sonic the Hedgehog cartoons. One was a slapstick comedy similar to Looney Tunes that was very not intelligent stuff made for small kids. Then there was another Sonic cartoon that was made for young adults, and it had serious storylines, continuing narrative, more darker plot, and it actually was more mature. Both shows are good. I would say, obviously, I liked the show for more young adults that had the more serious plot lines, but I also could watch the other one and be like, okay, there's a few jokes in here that are funny. It's entertainment for what it's worth. Both also were trying to be in line with the games and or expand upon what the games did with the characters. You know, you had Sonic, who was super fast. He had the abilities from the games and stuff like that. He had the personality, the attitude from the games. But then they added, like, for example, all of a sudden he loved chili dogs. It's like, why? That wasn't in the game. There's not even a single chili dog in a Sonic the Hedgehog game, yet it became a running thing in both shows that he loved chili dogs. I don't know. But did that ruin the character entirely? No. When you watch the shows, either show, you can obviously see that they're meant to be Sonic. It has things from the world. You know what I'm saying? It followed the main general plot. The characters were represented at least decently. You know, in the slapstick comedy, the Robotnik character isn't that scary because it's made to be for little kids. You don't want a scary villain that makes the kid have nightmares. In the actual more adult show, that one, Robotnik actually is a really controlling evil villain who's out to roboticize all the organic life, and he's actually kind of a scary guy. Makes more sense. You want more of a threat. You want more of an adult tone and scary, almost horror spin when you're doing something for a more mature audience. But both shows are good in their own right. The Mario movie says, fuck all that shit. Just throw those characters right at the fucking wall, make them splatter like a big blob of paint. Oh, Mario movie. No. Thank you guys for the early support today. I appreciate that very much. Again, as I said, Today we'll be grinding it out and trying to do as many unlocks as we possibly can again in Black Ops 7. I'm actually about, I'll do it right now. Let's change the resolution to 1080p. By the way, why are they selling Black Ops 7 currency when you can't spend it? There's nothing you can spend currency on. We actually looked in the game. The only thing you can currently buy in Black Ops 7 is a $20 veteran support pack. And I think there is some things in there, but that's it. Like, they're selling currency, but there's nothing to spend the currency on that I saw. Am I wrong? How do we usually celebrate Thanksgiving? My wife, makes a nice meal, and I stream half the day, and I take the second half of the day off for us to enjoy this delicious meal, and we clean up and just relax, and usually have a nice, cozy time together for that evening. Seems like people have slowed down and don't really have much to say. If that's the case, I think we should adjourn the show so we can go on break and I can get ready to grind again in Call of Duty. Okay? All right, so here's the deal. Tomorrow, there likely will not be a podcast. All right? Tomorrow, I'm going to be playing Pokemon for the entirety of the stream. Looks like the podcast will likely return on Tuesday. In the meantime, hope you'll join me for all the gameplay for Call of Duty, for Truck Sim, for Pokemon, for this Leave It Alone game we're going to try out on Monday night. It should be a good, amount of variety, and then we'll get all caught up on Tuesday when the show comes back. Okay? Excellent. Thank you guys so very much. Thank you for watching the Level 1 Podcast. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you'll join me for all the gameplay over the course of the week, and I'll see you Tuesday morning, bright and early. Thank you guys so much. See you then. Peace out.